Would you buy this foreclosure beauty for $24,000? Well, in this video, I'm going to show you what house it is. It is an amazing deal. It is cute as a button, and I would tell you all the financing, the down payment assistance, and the way you could get this for very, very inexpensively with either paying cash for it or down payment with down payment assistance and get a loan for the renovations where you'd be paying virtually less than maybe $1,000 if it worked out. So I'm going to show you how I would do it because I have bought many foreclosures and I am the foreclosure expert. So this one is 246 Main Street in Leechburg, Pennsylvania. I'm going to show you the street view too, but I think it is super cute. It's for estimated $24,000. And you can see a couple things when you look at this. Number one, the architecture is super cool. The window is amazing. And it gives you this very gingerbread house aesthetic, which I love. And you can see that there's 4 meters right here. Now, more on those 4 meters later, because that can mean something if you are interested in buying it. You can see the back of the house right here, and that shows you a different interesting street view, which I'm going to show you in a minute about where it is because the location makes it even cooler. So you can see once again the gingerbread house, the architectural aesthetic is just absolutely cool. If you want to go, and we have way more information in this video, so don't leave yet. So if you want to go more into foreclosures, I have a couple different things you can do. You can buy the foreclosure PDF guide for $9.99, gives you all the links to foreclosures in your state and down payment assistance in your state if you're a veteran. If you are just a regular person as well, it gives you that. There's a full video course that you can go through if you're interested in buying, and just a one-on-one coaching with me, which we just hop on for 45 minutes and talk about your personal situation, and I will guide you to where I would start the process and kind of take you along uh, and show you how to get a realtor, how to get financing, how to get the best rates on financing, how to get down payment assistance, all those things. Because I've sold 200 homes and I flipped over 100. All right, so look at this, super cool. And when you go to the street view, you can see that you're right on the main part of town. Isn't that so cool? I thought that was the coolest little thing. You have a church right next to you. You have what I would assume is another church right next to you. So you're going to be holier than thou. And you're basically on Main Street. You're on Main Street. And you can see everything is just so freaking cute here. So it is a very, very cool potential property. And you can see it looks absolutely safe and adorable. It looks like something out of like a Hallmark movie. And I think that's once again just one of the cooler houses. But there's a lot of stuff that you're gonna have to do and fix up. But don't worry, I have some tricks in the trade. I have some strategy for that. So this would be your kitchen right here. And honestly, for potentially $24,000, I don't think it looks bad at all. I think it's actually adorable. You have those historic fireplaces, which is amazing. People pay like $500 on Facebook Marketplace for these mantles. You have built-ins, which is cool. You have a little bit of ornate things on the top. I would love to think that that was original. The windows look old, but that's just how it's gonna be. You don't know about the floors until you're in there. You can usually tell if there's some sloping or not, which means there might be some foundation issues. I would assume with the house of this age and size, there might be some foundation issues that you would have to fix up. However, it does look like something that people were potentially living in at one point. And once again, more on that later. You can see that there's like a little sun. There's some like artistry happening here, which is absolutely so cool. That fireplace is bricked off. It looks like they opened up that wall. That was probably a bedroom back in the day. The bedrooms were very small, but look at how interesting that is. That is just the coolest darn thing. All right, so I'm going to tell you what you would have to do. It looks like there's probably plumbing under here, so they probably put the plumbing on top of the floor as opposed to digging into the floor, which is what I've seen happen. So let's tell you about this. So if you're seriously interested in something like this, a foreclosure or whatever, here would be the steps. So I personally would reach out to me and my team, do a consult. We could get you an agent that specializes in foreclosures and buying foreclosures in Pennsylvania, and we could work with them and hold their hand because we've done it a lot as well. And so I would do that. But if you don't want to do that, totally fine too. What you need to know, it's 4 bedrooms, 2 baths, 2,200 square feet. It's a single family residence. Now, that's very interesting that it's listed as single family residence, because if you see right here, it says, check out this great property ready to be added to your portfolio. Large 3-story home appears to have been used as a multi unit rental property. Buyer is responsible for verifying zoning and occupancy permits of record, if any. Lots of potential on the home within the close proximity of downtown Leechburg, the amenities there, and then a great front porch for relaxing. So once again, super cool. There's a river close, which is dope, dope as heck. Here's how you would start this process. You would go to the city. It's a foreclosure. So it either will be going to a foreclosure auction, or you can purchase it prior to the foreclosure for the payoff amount. Now there's an estimated 24,000, and Zillow gets this number from what they think that the mortgage payoff is. So they think it's just 24,000 in order to buy this home. So we would have to reach out to the county, or to the listing agent and say, where in the foreclosure process is this? Because the answer to that will give us a couple different paths. So we would either need to buy it in cash, which at $24,000, a lot of y'all would be able to do, I'm sure. And that is if it's already heading to an auction. If it's going to be auctioned off, you're going to have to buy it in cash, which means that you'll have to know when it is, when the auction is. You have to show up, have your check ready if you're the winning bid on it, win, and then go from there. Obviously, you want to check the title, make sure that the title is free and clear. That's if you go that route. If you go the financing route, which I assume a lot of people are going to do, there's some very, very interesting options. Now, that house as it is not going to be financeable with your traditional big finance loans, your FHA, your VA, your conventional loans. Like, it's not going to be financeable because there's too much work that needs to be done. I'm just assuming it has no appliances, so you'll need to put that in. And all the conditions that like an FHA and a first-time home buyer loan is going to need are not there. But don't worry, don't fret. There's some definitely cool things that we could do, um, if you wanted to get this for $100 down or less, and where you would start. So if you have VA loan eligibility or potential, you could potentially get this with $0 down, which is very cool. That's a VA thing. Once again, if you've served in the armed services or the military, thank you for your service. But also, that would be something that you could use your loan for. However, it probably wouldn't meet VA eligibility, in which case you would have to do VA and repairs. So it's harder to find a lender for this, but there is some lenders that will do a repair finance VA loan. Once again, reach out to my team, reach out to me, and then I will have my team help you find the proper lenders and assemble everybody. You have to look at us as like cat herders. We put everyone, put the attorneys for the closing, we put the selling agents, we put the mortgage brokers, we put everyone on the same page to make sure that they are giving you the best service and the best deal. And it should be relatively free for you too, which is very cool. All right. So what's very cool as well is that you could do a Keystone Flex or a K-Fit in Pennsylvania, which is very, very cool. And then you could do a 203K loan. So let's talk about all those. So VA would be great if you had that. That would be awesome. But number two, Pennsylvania has unusually good assistance right now. So the Pennsylvania Housing Finance Agency has Keystone Flex and KFIT, which KFIT provides 5% of the lesser of the purchase price or appraised value towards the down payment closing cost, structured as a second mortgage that is forgiven 10% per year for 10 years, which is super cool. And then you can wrap that up. I know it's a little complex here, but then you can wrap it up and pair it with the VA, FHA, or USDA for conventional financing. You'd have to have a 660 credit score, but basically, at your $24,000, 5% of that is $1,200. So potentially, your VA mortgage would be 2,400, and then your K-Fit you can get up to 1,245 towards your closing costs. That's already interesting. But there's another PHFA option that may be even better. It says that borrowers with loan amounts of 150 or less may receive 8% of the lesser of the purchase price appraised value through K-Date, subject to funding availability, because they fund this, every year, I would imagine, and then you draw down on it, and then the next year they fund it again. That's a 0% interest 30-year deferred second mortgage with no monthly payment, generally due when the home is sold, which is insane that you can get that. So on this, it would be purchase 24,000, your VA down payment 0, and then your K-Date assistance 1,900, which would be something that would be delayed in the future. It has a veteran specific program too. So anyway, you have a ton of stuff, and you can do a 203K loan on this bad boy, which allows you to put down 3.5% and finance all your repairs. That's probably what I would go do. If I could. It takes a little bit of a longer process, so you really have to negotiate with the seller and the listing agent, and it'd be hard to get a foreclosure on the 203K, but it's just the cutest dang thing in the whole wide world, and there's a lot of options here. So once again, if you want to learn about this yourself, you can just buy the PDF and go through all the links. It shows you exactly step by step how to do it. If you want a more in-depth tutorial, you could do the video course there. It's just me yapping about all those things, start to finish. You will become an expert in buying a foreclosure for cheap once you watch that video. Or you can just say, hey, screw it. I'm going to jump on with you. Let's talk for 45 minutes. I'm going to just tell you everything that I got going on, and then you put me in the right direction. And I would say, yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. I got you. And we'll do it. I love helping out. I love doing deals. I love helping people do deals, because in real estate, there's a lot of people that are dumb or flaky or just sketchy and liars. And I love sniffing those people out and course correcting them and fixing them and making sure everyone is open and honest and finding all these little savings that other people in real estate wouldn't be able to find. So yes, and also you can watch this entire series where I go through and just find the cutest freaking homes for under 50,000 in the US.